What's up, Facebook world? I am really stoked. What's up, Facebook world? That I can hear myself. Really stoked. What's up, Facebook world? Oh my God, it's going to keep happening over and over again. Oh my God. This is the best part of live programming, is that if there's a way for me to mess it up, I'll do it. But yeah, thanks for hanging in there for that 30 seconds of complete chaos. You'll be happy to know that I am not going to be teaching this class tonight. It's going to be my pal Aaron over here. So you guys are watching the Square One small business page on Facebook. I appreciate that. If you haven't smashed that like button, that subscribe button, I want you to do that. But in the meantime, I want to let you guys just jump right into this awesome content tonight. It is about content, and content's king, especially after our Facebook, Instagram meltdown yesterday.
Oh my gosh.
Completely I don't know what to do with my life if I'm not checking Facebook. And if I looked at the stats on my phone, it was probably you picked up Facebook 47 times and for no reason, because
it's not even working.
So we definitely know that content is really important, especially when it comes to social media. And so Erin is going to be telling us all about that. So I'm going to turn it over to her. But if you guys would please introduce yourself in the comments. Let us know what your business is. Ask your questions throughout the class. I'm going to make sure to pop those up on the screen for Erin to answer for you. And of course, I'm going to pop back on here at the end of the class, asking you to please fill out that Square One survey. It is very, very, very important for us in order to keep our grant. Thank you, Kauffman Foundation, and also so we can continue to pay awesome presenters like Erin and continue putting on classes like this. So without further ado, I'm going to fade ever so gracefully into the background, and I'm going to let Erin take it away. Good luck.
Thank you, Hannah, for that marvelous introduction, as Winifred Sanderson says. I'm just going to share my screen real quick. Okay. Just want to make sure I'm picking the right one. Awesome. Okay. There we are. Okay, I'm going to enter full screen mode. Awesome. Love it. Okay, thank you for joining me in the class. If you are watching this at a later date, like they are saving this on their Facebook page, please feel free to leave a comment, ask a question, DM Square One, all of that good stuff, and they will get the question back to me, or maybe I'll just see it myself and I'll come back to you. But I want to make sure that even if you're watching this at a later time, since this is going to live on Facebook now, that I want you to be able to ask questions still. So at the very end, you'll see our Instagram page and our email and stuff like that. So feel free to check us out there as well if you have a very specific question for your business. I'm happy to answer it. So to get started, hi, I'm Erin. I'll do another little introduction in a second. This is creating your content strategy. Develop your own content strategy that will attract your target audience, demonstrate your expertise, and create consistency throughout your brand and your social media. Okay, so today we are going to be talking about content, like she said, content strategy. First, we're going to talk about what is content, because it's everything, it's nothing, it's all the things, it's none of the things. It can be literally anything. So we're going to talk about definitions, types of content. Next, we're going to talk about your content strategy, the juicy part, your audience, your goals, picking your focus, your content pillars, all that good stuff. Then we're going to talk about creation, how to get those on-brand photos and graphics. And sorry, I got distracted with the comments. Okay, let's pause that for a second. Okay. Content creation, we're going to talk about how to get those on-brand photos, the graphics, how to even create some video, and how to tie it all together to make it on-brand for you, and then also how to repurpose it, because I think repurposing content is one of the number one ways to conquer your content. It's makes content less of a headache repurposing it. It could be its own class, and I would love to just teach it on its own class, but we have like a whole section for that where I'll show you how to take one piece of content and turn it into, I think I have 7 pieces of content to repurpose it into. So that's something to look forward to. And then at the end, we'll have some key takeaways. You can ask any questions. Feel free to ask questions along the way as well. But first, hi, I'm Erin. Like Hannah said, I am a creative director, graphic designer for Content Factory, which is local to Kansas City. We are a visual content studio that combines a creative director, me, and a photographer, my partner, who creates scroll stopping content like photography, graphics, video, all of that good stuff to help you move your business right along and achieve those goals, which we'll be talking about. Okay, so first I wanted to give you kind of a broad definition of content. Like I said, it's everything and it's nothing. It's TikTok, it's an Instagram comment, like it could literally be anything. Content is the presentation of information for a certain purpose to an audience through a channel in a form. Like I told you, super broad, could literally mean anything. Like in a channel for an audience, it's like, what is that? And we will narrow it down and give you a more narrow definition in a minute. So before we move through my presentation, I wanted to give you a little pop quiz. Out of the things listed here, which one is not content? And I know that it's like a little bit delayed, so I will wait like 30 seconds and see if anyone gets it right. Pinterest feels like a platform. Deb says they're all content. Okay, trick question. It was all content, but Hannah makes a good point where Pinterest feels like a platform. I could have been more specific where I would say like shoppable pins or Pinterest ads or something like that. But in the broad sense, they're all content. So here's a little bit more of a narrow definition for you. It's a combination of visual and written forms with the goal to attract and inform your ideal customer. Most of your content will be free unless you choose to put it behind a paywall like the New York Times or, I mean, even the Kansas City Star, some of the content they put out you have to pay for. Gotta love a trick question. Thank you. Okay, so first up, we're going to be talking about types of content. And this, I've kind of broken them down into 3 categories here, but obviously we could break them down even further than that. But I wanted to stick with just like 3 simple ones for you guys to kind of wrap your head around it. I started with social media content, which is probably the most popular way. And then obviously video content can kind of be like funneled into social media content, you know, like with TikTok and Instagram Reels, Facebook Live, stuff like that. But I wanted to kind of separate it because of the different types that you will be focusing on. Not a lot of people want to touch video right now. Like it's super hot, but like, do you have like the right camera? Do you have like the right ideas for it? It can be a little confusing and overwhelming. So I wanted to kind of put them all into different categories here. Social media content, we have things like Instagram stories, Instagram Reels, even the captions, the copy of your Instagram post, your Facebook post, your Twitter post. Twitter's super hot as of yesterday when we all can get onto Facebook, Instagram, and WhatsApp for, what was it, like 6 hours? That was insane. Memes that you would put onto your social media. And then we have web content in the next category, which I would consider like blog posts, email newsletters, infographics, contributions to blogs, a free guide that you want to put out to kind of get people onto your email list, podcasts, which also could be video content if you're going to put it on YouTube. Like, see how broad and like wide reaching content can be. And it says, love all the memes and GIFs from yesterday's fiasco. Yes, it was pretty good. And then we have video content, which, like I said, podcast can turn into a YouTube page for YouTube videos or Facebook Live, your Instagram Lives, Facebook Live like we're doing now, recorded interviews, TikTok, of course, TikTok is major. I was actually updating these slides I did this same topic a year ago for Square One, and I couldn't believe that I didn't have TikTok on there. I was like, what am I thinking? Like, TikTok is huge, and we would be fools to forget about it. I'm interested if anyone on the live uses TikTok for their business. I am just now starting to get into TikTok for our business. I use it obviously just for like funsies for now, but I'm interested in how you use TikTok right now. If it's for your business, if it's personal, and if it's for your business, how you use it. Okay, so next section is creating your content strategy. What is a content strategy, you may ask? So this answer is from Hubspot. Hubspot is a great resource, which I talk a little bit about towards the end of the presentation. Sorry, let me get some water. Oh, before we go into content strategy, Deb says that they don't use TikTok. We feel it's not big with our target audience. 100%. That is something we talk about a lot in content strategy, is picking platforms, types, content, all that stuff specifically for your audience. And if it's a baby boomer or even Gen X, sometimes TikTok's not the right spot. So that is that's a really good point. Picking for your target audience is super important. Okay, so content strategy includes everything from brand and tone to how you will promote your content and eventually repurpose it. Oh, I should have, that's funny. I should have read this quote ahead of time. Let's go over how to create your content plan step by step. That's from HubSpot, so they can help you with this too. Okay, so basically content strategy helps you create with a purpose. So you're not just kind of pulling things out of thin air that you think like, oh, I think my friend who like has bought a shirt from me will like this. We want to get really specific, and we want to create with a purpose and for our audience. So it gives you more of a solid plan, and it makes life so much easier in the long run. Okay, real quick, I have 4 sections that I want to go over, and I will come back to this one. But the first one we're going to focus on is your audience, like we were just talking about. Second is we're going to pick our goals. We're going to pick our focus, and then we're going to pick our content pillars. Okay, so focus on your audience, like Deb was talking about. It's not that big with their target audience. Should she even focus on TikTok? And my answer would be no. I think that's a really strong point. If it's not popular with your audience, if you don't see competitors using it, like, is there really a point to putting effort into it? And my answer would be no. You don't have to be on all of the platforms all of the time. I really think it's best to pick like 2 to maybe 3. Start with 1, get really good at it, get an audience from there, and build out from that. So we want you to focus on your audience and pick the platform best for you. Take a look at your demographics and your psychographics, which we will get into in an example in a moment. But demographics would be like your age range and where you live, maybe what they do for a living. And then psychographics would be like drinks coffee, eats fast food, shops local, stuff like that. Okay, next we are picking our goals. And these are just 4 goals that I've set out here. There can be more specific ones, like maybe the goal of your TikTok content. I should stay away from TikTok since we don't have anyone using TikTok. Maybe the goal of your Instagram lives is to sell this like group of sweaters, or like these new t-shirts, like these seasonal t-shirts. Maybe that's your specific goal, which would be sales. But keeping it specific is really good. But I would say pick a goal per piece of content. And that could be, I think, a really good one is always engagement and building awareness. And then like more specific and more things that take a little bit more, like a longer process or something that you may need to do a little bit of market research on, would be lead generation and sales. Oops, I keep clicking on the wrong screen. Here we go. Okay. And then pick your focus. like we talked about earlier, are you going to focus on your web content, your social content, repurposing something that you've already done, which I think is a great idea. Over the summertime, I took unintentionally, I took a month off of work, and I came back one week and I was like, man, I haven't posted on Instagram in a week. What do I need to do something? So I went back almost a year. I looked at my analytics and I saw that one of these posts about something that another service that I was going to promote in the following month did really well. So I just went ahead and I reposted it. No shame in my game. I was repurposing something that did really well about a year ago, and it did really well that same time. No one's going to remember that you posted the same photo twice in a year. Okay, and then we need to pick our content pillars, which would be, you guys may have content pillars already. It's kind of like a fairly known piece of content strategy, picking 3 to 5 wide topics to focus on. And I like to tell people to start wide. So if you are, like I said, we're going to have some examples in a second. Since we're local to Kansas City, we would pick Kansas City, videography, content creation, growing on Instagram, and then maybe behind the scenes, something personal. And then from there, maybe you can get even more niche with your content pillars, and maybe videography is too wide and you want to focus more on short form video. So that would be a really good way to kind of narrow down your content pillars. Start with something wide, like I said, Kansas City, because we're local to Kansas City. Maybe we pick photographers of Kansas City, and that's something that we focus on, promoting other photographers or small businesses of Kansas City, talking about other small businesses. Hannah says we do motivational quotes, marketing tips, local businesses, business resources, great, and fun culture stuff. Yes, those are fantastic because it can be, marketing tips is really wide, and especially for Square One, they have a wide audience. It's not just, while it is just small businesses, it's not just Kansas City specific, downtown. It's the metro area. So marketing tips and local businesses, that can be really niche, or it can be really wide for them. And now we're going to get into, yes, okay. And next we're going to get into an example. Sorry, I think I just was messing with my microphone. If that was brrr. Sorry. Okay, so the first one, we're going to have a little bit of a content strategy example for a vegan food truck. And I wanted to kind of make this more specific so we could come up with more specific content ideas, pillars, stuff like that. So I picked vegan just so it's not just a pizza food truck, which would be, that could be a vegan food truck too. So first, vegan food truck. This vegan food truck, their demographics for their audience are 20 to 39. They are local. So let's just say local to Kansas City. Let's say, because of this food truck is going through the metro area, let's say that their target audience lives in Kansas City proper. Men and women, because we all like to eat. Psychographics likes to try new things. They enjoy eating out. Maybe they're vegan. Maybe they just like to try new things. I personally am not vegan, but there is a vegan hot dog stand that I eat once a week. So you don't have to be vegan to eat at the vegan food truck, but maybe they just enjoy eating out, trying new things, and supporting local restaurants, aka this vegan food truck. So their goals for their content strategy are to bring in new customers, like we all want, and to also build brand awareness, because they want to be able to go to a food truck festival, concert, park outside in the crossroads on a first Friday, and they want people to recognize their brand and come over to them, making them a new customer. Okay, so their content pillars, which we can definitely niche down more. Kansas City, because that's where they are. That's where the food truck is, this made up food truck. Local food, so maybe that includes local ingredients or focusing on a local restaurant or another local food truck. Behind the scenes, because they want to show us, actually I get into some content specifics later, but behind the scenes, because they want to show us fresh ingredients, where they're getting it from. They want to be really transparent with their process and their ingredients, because people who eat vegan, who are vegan, care I would say probably care more about that stuff than people who aren't vegan. They like have to make sure that there's no cheese in this. This is not meat. You know, they have to be like a little bit more careful about what they eat. And so this food truck really wants to focus on making their customers happy and feel transparent about it. And then also nutrition, since they're vegan. So the platforms they are going to be focusing on because of their audience are Instagram, Facebook, and they're going to do an email newsletter. So the content type that they'll focus on these platforms are Instagram stories, Instagram posts, Facebook Live, Facebook events, which I think are super important for like a food truck or a restaurant or like a festival of some sort, and then also a weekly newsletter. And like I said, this is just their strategy, and we will be getting into their content type in a later example. Okay, and then we have our clothing boutique example. So I just wanted to do something like a little bit different. These, like I said, these aren't specific, but when I was thinking of this clothing boutique, I was thinking of a brick and mortar clothing boutique who wants to expand their e-commerce. So that's kind of what this clothing boutique is going for. So their demographics range a little wider, 25 to 45. They're local, so they want that those local women coming in to shop in their stores, women with a family, at least one kid. Psychographics, I would say they have an office job just based on the kind of clothing that I'm assuming this boutique sells. They have an office job. They enjoy online shopping over in-store, which I think is a more popular opinion to have nowadays. They like supporting local businesses, whether that is a restaurant or a clothing boutique or a gift shop, something like that. And their goal specifically for their new content strategy is to increase online sales. So their content pillars would be fashion trends, behind the scenes. That could be like unboxing, getting a new product, styling your store, user-generated content, which I think is super important for clothing companies because people like myself want to see how clothing looks on someone who either looks like me or is like the complete opposite of me. Maybe they got like the size, someone who looks way different than I do. Maybe they got the size that I normally would. And now that I see that, I know that I need to like adjust my sizing. So I think user-generated content is super important for online stores specifically for that reason. And then styling, whether that is styling the clothes on a person, on a mannequin, or in the store. And the platforms they are going to focus on are Instagram, Facebook, Pinterest, and they're also going to have a blog, which I think is very important if you're going to focus on Pinterest. Not only do you need to focus on, I've learned this the hard way. I just started putting in a lot of time into Pinterest, and it's like, it was overwhelming to me to learn that I needed to have more blog posts because even though I use Pinterest to read blogs mostly, and now I see a lot of videos on Pinterest, which I love, the blog section is like, I mean, not the blog section, but like the amount of blog posts that you find on Pinterest is incredible. And I was like, man, I really need to up my blog game if I want to be like super successful on Pinterest, which I would love to be because I think Pinterest really goes well with our personal target audience. So content type, they're going to do Instagram stories, posts, Facebook posts, Instagram and Facebook shopping, which is really big now. You can tag a product in an Instagram reel. You can tag it on a post. You can have like a little buy button on your stories. Like shopping is huge on Instagram and Facebook and even Pinterest now. So if you're selling products, I think those are really important places to be. They also have Pinterest pins and shoppable pins as well. Okay, so before we get into content creation, which I will use those same examples to kind of map out more of the content that those businesses would use, does anyone have any questions about anything going along or before we move forward? It could be about your own business. It could be about something else that we haven't covered yet. Let me know. I'm going to wait a minute and then I'll move. How frequently should I write a blog? From what I found, and I had hired a Pinterest manager for a couple months, and from what she had said, she had told me about one a week. And if it's something that you really like to do, their blogs are a really great way to repurpose your content, which I get into, like I said, towards the end, which I'm excited to show you guys how to do that. I think once a week is really good. And then from there on, specifically on Pinterest, like I was talking about, you can like promote the same blog and make different like graphics and videos for the pins. So like that like front cover photo or cover graphic that you see on Pinterest, like the ones that actually make you click, like the pins. I think you could definitely do multiple of those. So you could have the same blog and have like 5 different pins. So I think once a week is good, and that really like starts to build up your content so you can like keep promoting them, because blogs, similar to like these Facebook lives that we do, they live on Pinterest forever. And like you could have a pin on from like 2 years ago that just like lights up and is like fire for like a week, which I've seen before, which I think is really cool. That's like one of the things about Pinterest that that really interests me, is that Pinterest. That's funny. That's one thing about Pinterest that really interests me, is that it lives for so long, and it's not like instant like Instagram is. How funny is that? They just said interest Pinterest, instant Instagram. Now we know how they chose their names. Okay, so short answer, I think once a week is good. If you have like a lot of ideas and something that you're promoting within like the month, maybe like write a few short ones for the week if you're in like launching or promote mode. But when I'm like personally creating content, one a week is like what I can do, because writing blogs is very daunting for me. And that's like something that I would definitely hire out for myself. Aaron says, would Pinterest be best for a business targeting women? I think Pinterest, yes, I think Pinterest is really great for women. Definitely depends on what business you have, but I think that a lot of categories and a lot of businesses use Pinterest to get people like interested in their website, their products, or even leading them to their Instagram. For a while before I had hired a Pinterest manager, I was just repinning my own Instagram posts because that's what I had been focusing on. So like another great way to repurpose my Instagram was putting it on to Pinterest. So I think, yes, it's a really great place to target women, but it also depends on what your business is. Erin, if you want to tell me what your business is, I can give you a little bit more of an answer. A real estate agent. Okay. Interesting. I do see, the thing that I see the most about real estate related on Pinterest would be like home interiors. So it's less about selling a home and more about probably, I don't know, it's hard to say since it's like real estate is a local thing and Pinterest seems to be more of like a broad, it's international. So it's kind of, it feels like it would be hard to target local people unless you have like a blog specifically that you would put on there, or maybe lots of staging, not so much for actually buying and selling. Exactly. But good for industry articles. Yeah, if you have like white papers or research that you've done, it's great for that. Definitely photos of anything staged, photos of homes would do really well on Pinterest. Maybe like blogs about like how to stage your own home, or if you're wanting to target real estate agents, I think that's a great place to do that as well. Great questions. Okay, one more sip of water and then I'll move on. I love Pinterest, and I think that there is space on there for everyone. It's just like finding the thing that you post on there that's most important. Okay, now we're going to talk about creating content. And the first one we'll be talking about is creating the graphics, which is probably my favorite part of my job, is creating graphics. I'd say so. I love graphic design and then adding like animations and motion into it, which I'll get into like creating video in a second too. I highly suggest if you are a small business owner to invest in Canva. I can't remember if it's premium or pro or like whatever their paid services or their paid account is. I highly recommend for anyone. I'm a professional graphic designer. I went to school for it. I've been doing it for 10 plus years and I am obsessed with Canva. It's like Hannah wants to marry Canva. Yes, me too. I love them a lot and they're always improving, which is great. I remember when Canva came out, oh my gosh, how many years ago? I don't remember when they came out, but like when they had first come out and people were like starting to find it, it was like really rough. It was not very good. And I remember just being like so anti-Canva, like thinking that you had to hire a graphic designer or learn how to use Adobe Illustrator or InDesign or something. And now I'm just like totally converted and I love using Canva. I probably use it more than I use Adobe Illustrator, to be honest. Okay, so it's recommended for anyone and everyone, very easy to use. You can upload your branding, your colors, which is awesome because then you can just like pop them into like some templates that you find. Like I said, use the premium version so you can resize and repurpose the stuff that you already make. So if you make a bunch of Instagram graphics, you can go in and resize them to be like Pinterest pin size or even like cover photo size. And so it rearranges things on the canvas to kind of like fit into that size, which is pretty amazing when you want to be repurposing and you don't want to have to keep recreating things. Create templates for consistency. The one thing I say about templates is there are tons of templates that you can find on Instagram, and I think they're great. You can go in, change the colors in the photos, you can buy templates. The thing about them though is that you want to make sure that you are redesigning them for your brand, because a lot of things on there are like geared towards really young women or they're all neutral. Like it seems to be very niche, their templates. And so I want you to just make sure that when you're finding like a template for your business that you go in and you like rearrange it and change the colors just to make sure that it's on brand for you and you're not using someone else's brand in your content. If you want more info about Canva, check out Hannah's Facebook playlist on how to use Canva. Yeah, great. But back to templates real quick. It's a really great way to create consistency if you either buy templates from someone and like rearrange them and like rebrand them for yourself, have someone make them for you so they look like your brand, what have you. It's a really great way to create consistency throughout your social media, your website, your YouTube, like all of that stuff using like the same templates and like the same colors. Adobe Illustrator, if you are working with if you're hiring a social media manager or like a content creator like myself, be clear with them if you want them to use Canva or if you want them to be designing in Adobe. I highly recommend for people like myself to be using Adobe Illustrator and InDesign. You can create like more custom and unique graphics than you can in Canva. It's professional, lots of capabilities for a designer. I don't recommend that you go out and learn it tomorrow if you are new to this. I think Canva is perfectly acceptable for you, but if you are working with someone or hiring someone, I would just clarify with them that they are using Adobe Illustrator unless it's like specifically creating templates for you. Just want to make sure that you are hiring someone who is professional about their graphics and making them as high quality as possible. Okay, creating the photos. I think iPhone photography is perfect. I mean, we're on our phones, we're creating content for people on their phones. So using your phone to take photos and videos is awesome. What I don't recommend is using those photos and videos for your website, just because it translates differently from your phone to your website. And so I just want to make sure that everything is as high quality as possible and you're not uploading like a grainy photo, losing business because you took a crappy photo of your candles and put them on your website. It's great because you already have it. They're already great quality. Like I said, they're social media size, so they're great for that. Another way to find photos to use, maybe you are on vacation, you're like, crap, I need to find 6 photos for the week. I don't have anything lined up. Or maybe you need some like filler for your website. Unsplash and other stock photo websites will do. I like Unsplash a lot because it has a lot of different themes. So you can choose business, you can choose a bakery, you can choose office. Like there's a lot of different themes for you to choose from there. And then they also specify in in colors as well. So if you are a brand that uses like a ton of pink, it's easy to find pink or red or blue on Unsplash. They're high resolution, they're free images to use across whatever you want. Another thing to note though is when you're finding websites like Unsplash, to just make sure that in like the fine print that there's like no like attribution you have to give, or you won't be fined if you use it on your website specifically. Like there can be some fine print, but Unsplash is really great to use. And then also if you're using Canva, they have access to, I think it's actually Unsplash that they partner with, but they also have other stock photo websites that you can use on your templates and in the graphics that you create on Canva as well. Okay, and then creating video, like I said already, you can easily do this on your phone. Now that TikTok, Instagram Reels, Instagram Stories, all that stuff is way more popular, like edited short videos, things like Adobe Spark Video are really great for editing them together. It's free with a watermark, or you can pay for it. They're only on your phone and your iPad, and they have music and text. You can record audio over it. And this last one I added here just because it was a last minute thing. But if you're making like a TikTok, I have this app on my phone called InShot, and it kind of looks like when you download the app, it kind of looks like the Instagram logo. It's a really fantastic app to use to like edit together TikToks and Reels and stuff like that. Very similar to Adobe Spark Video, but I think it's like a little bit more intuitive. There are some paid features to it, but honestly, I think you can pay like $40 for like what's it called? So you're not paying like monthly, but it's like an unlimited license, I believe is what they call it. So it's just like $40 and you own this editing software, which is actually a really great deal because paying a monthly fee can be pretty annoying sometimes. Okay, so then next we have Loom and QuickTime. QuickTime is just that it's an app on, I think, all Macs, and you can do screen recording, you can record audio, you can record, I could record this whole thing, I could record just myself. It comes in handy. I've used it to make courses for myself. I've used it to do like a quick tutorial. Loom is similar to QuickTime. It's just maybe if you don't have a Mac. I'm actually not sure if QuickTime is on anything other than Macs. Let me know. QuickTime is great. I've used Loom before, and then they're both free. And that's how you can like screen record if you wanted to like show someone a tutorial or walk them through like the process of something. And then Canva also has a video editor that they have recently updated, and it is really great. Not as much editing capabilities as like InShot, like that app I told you about. You can do like as many transitions, or like you can record audio, you can add video. There's a lot of things you can do in the video editor on Canva, but I think InShot is like a great secret weapon. One thing on Canva that they do have is that you can add animations, which is fantastic. So if you are creating like Instagram posts and you want to add like something to pop, you want to grab your audience's attention, you can either add Jiffy stickers, you can make the text animate, you can make a certain element animate. or you can do like a whole page animation. So once again, Canva is coming through for us. Oh, actually, I wanted to show you guys something real quick. So when you're creating blogs, Hemingway and Hubspot are great tools to use. Hemingway is a blog editor. It's kind of similar to Grammarly. If you're familiar with that, they do like show you spelling mistakes, like maybe like comma splices, stuff like that. Hemingway is just like a little bit more in depth, and it's kind of like having an English teacher on your computer. I really enjoy it. It even gives you like the grade that your writing is at. So if you are maybe in academia and you need to write like at a collegiate level or something like that, it'll tell you that this is like a 6th grade paper. You need to step up your game. Or if you want to like be really simple and you want to get your message across, it'll tell you this is a 6th grade paper. You're doing great. So I'll show you these in just a second. HubSpot is a really great tool because they give you generated blog topics, which I have found very fascinating. So we're gonna do something real quick. There we go. They also have a website grader, so you can pop in your website and it'll give you a grade on your website. Maybe your website's too slow or the headings are off or something. Like, you can tell I don't edit websites for a living. They have marketing plan generator. They have a fantastic blog about content. If you are just like eating this up and need more information on content, HubSpot is the way to go. I will show you them real quick. I do. Okay, this will be just real quick, I promise. Thank you. Okay, so this is Hemingway Editor. Like I said, you can see like the word count over here, grade 6 readability, and it'll tell you all like passive voice, use a simpler alternative. Like, it's really fascinating to kind of see how your tone and your copy plays out for other people reading it. Like, readability grade 6, I think it's so interesting to me to see, like, I didn't, obviously, like, this is not something I wrote. This is just an example of what they can do. I wish I had like something to type in. This is an example. Oh yeah, that's good. Let's see if it. Okay, so they caught my spelling mistake. Grade 3, 12 words. Reading time, 2 seconds. Okay, now I want to show you HubSpot. Okay, so this is HubSpot.com. Marketing Hub, Sales Hub. Oh, of course, I'm getting like all the ads now. Service Hub, like there's lots of good stuff on here. There's like, they have services as well, but the one thing that I'm most interested in is their free tools down here. Website Grader, Make My Persona, email signature generator, all these great things. But I like the blog ideas generator. So now to get started, we were talking about vegan food trucks. Actually, let's go with the boutique. I think that's maybe like a little bit easier. Well, clothing. Oh, okay, here we go. Boutique. E-commerce. Small business. Is that it? That's not a noun, but they'll let me slide. Okay, let's do that. And then here it gives you 5 ideas. And then if you want more, I think you just have to pop in all of this stuff, which is not a bad idea because it gives you 250 blog ideas. And in reality, if you pop in, you could type in like a vegan food truck and it'll just say like, where this says clothing expectations versus reality, it'll just say veganism expectations versus reality. So they're not that specific, but I think it is a really great way to get ideas for your own content, whether that you use that exact thing that they tell you, or if it's just like something to bounce around ideas and like get a refresher. I'd hate to see what it said about my writing, the Hemingway. Great for video prompts too. Yes. So these are not just for blog ideas. It could be for an Instagram live you want to do, like I said, a blog, or Instagram captions. It could be literally anything. It could be TikTok too. So these, I would highly suggest looking into this and getting the other 250 as well. I've done it before. I probably have like two. I did like a set for 5 keywords, and then I did another set of 5 keywords just so I could like see what they came up with for me. It was worth it. I highly recommend. Can you show us the other 4 examples for context? Oh, yes. Will boutique ever rule the world? See, I told you that this is kind of like a generic thing that they do, and then they just like pop in the keywords. But you could say, will online boutiques ever rule the world? The next big thing in e-commerce. Small business explained in fewer than 140 characters. That could be difficult. But this would be depending on what the topic is, this could be a really interesting TikTok. This week's top stories about clothing. Yeah, see, they can get pretty generic, but I think it's really interesting to see, especially 250 is a lot. You got to come, you'll definitely find at least 10 that you like, and I think that's worth it. And then real quick, while I got it pulled up, here is Unsplash, where you can find photos. Like I said, they've got literally everything you could ever want on here. I think they have videos too. Let's just type in pink like I was talking about. Okay, so up here they have iStock photos, which cost money. So when you scroll down here, this is the Unsplash. This is just an ad for iStock. And then down here is where you'll find the free use ones. They're great. They have gradients, they have flowers, like they've got everything that you could want, and like they have a ton. So 10,000 pink photos. You're welcome, Deb. I hope that answered your question. Or I hope you got some good information from Hemingway. What did I say? Hubspot and Unsplash. I think those are really great. Okay, now I'm going to go back to my presentation. Sorry, Hannah, I'm all over the place. Okay. Okay, so create blogs. Okay, so here we go with a content creation example for the vegan food truck. So like we said, their goals are to bring in new customers and create more brand awareness. Their platforms are Instagram, Facebook, plus their newsletter. Content types, Instagram stories, post, Facebook post, weekly newsletter. And then their content pillars, Kansas City, food. I think I said local food in the first one, behind the scenes, and nutrition. So for some of their content examples, which we kind of went over, but this is a little bit more in depth. Instagram stories for behind the scenes for their food prep. Maybe they are gearing up for like an exciting first Friday, and Thursday night, they're like making cookies, or they're picking up chips, or like something along those lines, and it's all behind the scenes showing you that it is locally sourced, how it's made, really making people feel comfortable about buying food from you. Facebook posts to update their whereabouts. Maybe, like I said, they are going to park First Friday like outside of, I'm going to say Uptown because I live near Uptown. Maybe they're about to park outside of Uptown and it's just like going to be pouring rain and they need to be updating their Facebook posts about where they're going to be. Maybe there's a delay. Maybe they have to cancel altogether. I think Instagram stories are a great place for that too, since they only last for 24 hours. If it's like a quick thing, like, hey, we have to cancel the truck tonight because it's pouring down rain, our generator went out, like XYZ. I think Facebook posts and Instagram stories are a great way to show that. Weekly newsletters, maybe they update their menu often and they want to get those old customers back in. They want to retain customers. They want to build brand awareness. So like emailing these newsletters about like exactly what's going in the food that week, how they're preparing it, what's the menu like. Maybe they have something new that they're introducing. Sorry about the hiccups. So weekly newsletters for new menu items, and then also to announce like any sort of events that they're partaking in that week. Maybe they're only doing one, maybe they have like 5 gigs that week and they are promoting the heck out of it to get people out there. And then Instagram stories, I thought this was interesting since it's a vegan food truck. They were doing Instagram stories and posts as well about education around veganism, why they have chosen to have a vegan food truck. Are the owners vegan? Is it just like something that they're getting into to be a little bit more healthy? Is it something that they've noticed like a lack in the market of food trucks? And then the women's clothing boutique, their goal was to increase online sales. Like I said, for the specific example, they already have a brick and mortar, but I mean, due to the pandemic, everyone wants to start selling things online more. Oh, thank you for trying to scare my hiccups away. It did not work. But like the pandemic has made us realize, content is super important, and trying to convert your business, whether it's just a portion of it, whether it's all of it, to online is super important. So this boutique is trying to sell sweaters online, trying to get more of their product ready, e-commerce ready. So they're going to focus on Instagram, Facebook, Pinterest, and then also a blog to accompany and use on Pinterest. Content type: Instagram stories, posts, Facebook posts, Instagram shopping, Pinterest pins, and then also shoppable pins. Their content pillars were fashion trends, behind the scenes, user-generated content, and styling. So their content examples that I had come up with are weekly Instagram live styling new products, blogs about seasonal trends, or maybe like a whole blog solely about like 6 different ways to wear this one hat in this weather. Like it can be that specific or it can be super broad. Creating shoppable pins of products. So use that product photography that you're taking, just pop them onto Pinterest. Maybe use Canva to add a title or something that looks like a button to shop now, and then add in the shoppable pin aspect of it. Instagram posts that are shoppable through Instagram and Facebook. And after like further consideration, I think that really simple reels would be really important for Instagram reels for this clothing boutique. If you've seen recently, if you're on Instagram, I shop a lot online, so maybe I just see these. I've seen people, online boutiques doing like 2 women who work for this company. They're different sizes, but they're wearing the same clothes. And so it's really helpful for people to see how it fits on someone who is this body size, or maybe like the size below me. It's like super helpful for people who are shopping online to see how these clothes fit. And so I think these are really simple videos that you can make, and something that clothing boutiques could really utilize. And that's a lot of content right there. If you sell 20 different t-shirts, that's 20-ish different videos that you can make, and that's a lot of content. It may take a little bit of time to make it, but you can also repurpose it, put it on Pinterest, put it on TikTok. Speaking of repurpose, that's what we're about to do. And it says I have 5 minutes left. We can do this. Do you guys have any questions real quick before I go into repurposing content? I just want to show you how you can take one idea and turn it into lots of ideas so it makes your life a lot easier when you're planning your content. Okay, let's do this. Okay, so this is actually from a blog topic from Hubspot that had generated last time I did this presentation. So this is one of them that you didn't see in the 5 that they gave us. 9 signs you need help with styling. So what you can do here are 7 ways to take this topic and turn it into different pieces of content. Start with an Instagram carousel. It can be 10 different slides to swipe through. Instagram, you know, the different, no, it's called a carousel. You can do 10, I call them slides, but you can 10 different photos or graphics that you can slide through. Make the first one say like 9 or 8, however many you want to do, different signs you need help with styling, and then each different slide is a different sign you need help with styling. And at the very end, if you have room, since you can only use 10, be sure to add like this, save this, something like a call to action for your audience. Those carousels personally work really well for my own business, and so I just think they work really well for most businesses. If you think about it, when you see them, I always swipe through a carousel, no matter who it is. Okay, so next we do create an infographic, put it on Pinterest and Facebook. Infographics work really well on Pinterest. You can make it in Canva. They actually already have templates for infographics, which is great because infographics can be difficult to make. So use a template for it, sub in your colors, your fonts, your logo, all that good stuff, and then type out 9 signs you need help with styling. Make it Pinterest size and then resize it for a Facebook post. Create a pin to promote the blog. Oh, that's right. So this is, I think I missed this part. This is a blog topic. So this is something that you've already written. You've already written a blog about 9 signs you need help with styling. So you already have the content of like the 9 signs, and now you're just copy and pasting the 9 signs into a carousel, an infographic, and now a pin to promote the blog that you've already written. Copy the blog post into your newsletter. It can be either just like completely copy and paste the blog into your newsletter, or it could be, you could say, hey, audience, I wrote this blog about 9 signs you need help with styling. Check it out here, and then link it back to your blog. So you can do that a couple different ways. I would say if you're going to copy and paste the whole blog, make sure that it's not like 1,000 words, or like make sure that it is more succinct. Maybe it's just like 5 signs you need help with styling, and click the link here to read the other 4, something like that. You don't want to make it so long that they're like scrolling like this for like 10 minutes. Okay, create an animated video on Canva or Adobe Spark or InShot with the 9 signs. And now that TikTok and Instagram Reels are really popular, you want to make it short form. So I would even say something like 5 signs you need help with styling, 3 signs you need help with styling, just to make it shorter and easier for people to follow along with. Create an Instagram TV series about each sign that you can explain yourself. So use the blog that you've already written as kind of like what am I going to say? Like an outline or like a, oh my God, what's the word? I'm trying to say like speech or like a, I think you know what I'm trying to say, but use the blog as like an outline for making an Instagram series. So like use the first sign, make an IGTV about it and say, here's one sign you need help with styling. And then you can either script. Thank you. You can see I don't use scripts. Okay. So then that's 9 videos right there, 3 videos, however many signs you want to continue with. And I think the series are really interesting on Instagram TV because it helps people find what they're more interested in on your Instagram TV, because kind of like how YouTube does it, how you can like make like little categories of like what you're talking about. I think that is super helpful on Instagram TV because you don't want to just keep like scrolling through until you find like you're on number 9. You're like, well, where's number 1? Like, I think creating a series would be super helpful in that regard. Take pieces of the blog and use them as Instagram captions. So whether it's just like one sign that you're talking about, or maybe like a specific quote you said, or some facts and figures, some research that you did for the blog, you can use those and just repurpose them for an Instagram caption. So maybe you have a photo of your brick and mortar, you're styling a mannequin, and it's like part of the caption is from your blog specifically. I would also say make sure you add in some like, since it's specifically for Instagram captions in this, make sure that you add in like some emojis and some like flair to it. So it's not just like 6 paragraphs of your blog in there. Okay, do you guys have any questions about repurposing content? I kind of flew through it, but I think it is super useful to know that you don't have to just keep putting out different content all the time. Like if you, even your number 1 fan, even if it's someone like an actual customer who buys from you, if it's your mom or your dad or your sister, whoever it is, they could look at your stuff all the time. They're not going to notice that you used, if you took that blog and repurposed it 9 times into a video series, or if you put it into an infographic on Pinterest, like no one is paying that close attention. And once you kind of realize that, it is super helpful. I mean, when I learned about repurposing content, I was like, you mean I don't have to like make a new graphic every single day? You mean I don't have to think about 365 different topics to talk about out of the year? Like, game changer. Okay, no questions about that. That is all I have. Here are your key takeaways. Consistency is greater than quantity. So great idea about repurposing content as an infographic. Thank you, Tracy. I love infographics and I wish that more people made them. Consistency is greater than quantity. Love that. Repurpose content when you can. I mean, you could take 30 minutes out of your day tomorrow, go through your blogs or like an Instagram post that did really well, a video that you've already made, and kind of just break down how you can make that into like several different pieces of content, because it's very easy to do once you realize that you can do it. And then batch create content, which I didn't go over, but real quick, instead of making content daily or even weekly, make your content for like the month in one day. And it not only it saves you time, it keeps you focused, and then it's just done and you're like happy to go on with your life. Let me know if you have any questions about the key takeaways. Other than that, like I said, my name is Erin. We are a content factory. This is our website, our Instagram, our email. If you have something really specific about your own business that you'd like to ask, obviously feel free to comment on here if you'd like, and we will get back to you, or you can, it's an open door to email me, ask me anything. set up a coffee if you're local now that we can get back outside. I'd love to. And yeah, like Square One would like you to fill out the form so we can keep doing these great classes and get your opinion on stuff.
I'm so excited about all this stuff.
Oh, wait, I think you're muted, maybe.
Oh, no. Probably. Am I still muted? Oh, no.
I can hear you a little bit. It's like very faint.
What a weird thing. Oh, well. We'll just hope for the best. Please fill out the survey.
She said, we'll hope for the best, fill out the survey. You can't hear her.
Anyway, thanks for this awesome class. I will make sure to comment some more stuff as the class goes on. But Erin, thank you so much for doing this with us. And you've given us lots of ideas moving forward. So thank you. And we appreciate you so much.
I had a lot of fun. Thank you for having me. Like I said, DM me, comment here, what have you.
Perfect. All of the things. Yeah, we will definitely make sure that we share this out. If people are watching this class later, feel free to drop your questions in there and we'll make sure they get answered. And again, please fill out the survey. If you don't do it now, we'll just email you later. All right. Thanks, guys. Have a good night.